Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hbtv, the show. And I'm your host, Harry Bugarin. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you for joining us tonight. And if you are a repeat viewer, always thank you. Big thanks to your love and support. If you haven't already, do me that huge favor and please like, subscribe, share, and hit that little bell for any alerts when Hbtv is on. As you guys know, every episode we just broadcast nothing but positive vibes, and tonight is no different. I'm going to have a very, very special guest who is actually a repeat guest. I'm just going to do a recap with him. It's Mr. Dion Flea of Flea TV, and he's going to join us tonight. So, without further ado, just help me welcome our next guest, which is Mr. Dion Lee. Dion, brother, how you doing tonight?
How you doing?
Let me get that one more time, man. How you doing tonight? My audio for the Zoom was off, so let's take it again.
Hey, I'm doing great now that I got to repeat on saying I'm great. I feel like Tony the Tiger.
That's what's up. How's Las Vegas right now? I know you out there in Las Vegas. How's everything going? I know it's beautiful weather for us over here. How's it been out there for you guys?
It's been a little breezy, little windy here in Vegas. This is our windy season, so it's the tail end of the winter. We get a lot of wind. By mid-March, we're gonna be lighting it up about 75, 80 degrees by mid-March. So we're gonna be ready to go.
That's good. That's good. And please say hello to your wife as well. The last time you was on here on Hbtv with me on the show was both you and your wife. Please tell her we said hello and hope she's doing well and everything's all good with her as well.
Oh yeah, she's doing great. She's doing great. She's in there making some good ribs for tonight. So after this is over, we're gonna be grubbing.
We're gonna be grubbing. Well, let's get your appetite going with you being on the show tonight, and make sure you get that beautiful cooking from your wife. So really quick, everybody, you guys can go back to that first season. Dion Lee. Carson's son right here, Carson's very own Mr. Dion Lee. He was on with me during my first season, and I was blessed and humbled to have him and his wife on my show to talk about the projects and what they were doing during that time. That was about 8-9 months ago, I would say, when that first jumped off. So you guys can check out that episode, please do. But for the viewers that haven't seen that one, and maybe we're gonna have some new viewers as well. Dion, do me a huge favor, just like 30 seconds, really quick. Tell us who you are, what you do, and we'll jump off from there.
Okay, yeah, definitely that. The name is my mom named me Dion Lee, Dion Andre Lee to be honest, and but I'm better known as Flea. Got that name as a Carson High School football player in 1985, being a small defensive back. The legendary coach Gene Vonego saw me play. He said I look like a flea out there. Everybody thought it was funny. I looked at it and said Flea rhymes with Lee. It's 80s. I'm rapping with that. I'm rolling with that. So that's how I got that. I did 23 years in the music industry as an urban marketing specialist. Worked with the likes of just about everybody under the sun, from in R&B and hip hop to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, AC/DC, Weird Al Yankovic. So I got a little what you want to call that? A little flavor in my ear when it comes to working with different artists and different genres of music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's great, and thank you for that introduction. So really quick, basically recap, and also what are you doing now since that last 8 to 9 months that I seen you. So one big thing, and you can recap on this and tell us the update on this, was the One Team, One City project. I thought it was great. I'm getting chills about it now. Please update us, man. Let us know how that's going.
Yeah, definitely. When we first hooked up and got on the show, we were promoting the One City, One Team. What if everybody in the city of Carson went to one high school? How dominant could we have been? And that was during the COVID era of us putting this together. It actually put a damper on our program when it came to the production of it, due to the fact that we couldn't gather in large gatherings to do the production. So what we've done since California and Nevada and some states have loosened up, We're going to go back into production at the end of April. We're going to give ourselves 90 days to put it all together because we got all the stuff. And then we're gonna have this documentary on our platform by September 1st.
Wow.
Of all the football players that came out of the city of Carson, no matter if you went to Carson, Banning, Gardena, Sarah, Norabon, or St. John Bosco, or wherever, if you grew up in the city of Carson, the theory is, what if everybody would have went to one school? Again, how good would we have been? I think we would have went undefeated for 30 years. You know, from 2000 and what? No, 1975 to 2005. Over that 30-year period, it was either Carson or Banning, you know, situation as far as championships were concerned. You know what I'm saying? 22 years.
Wow.
22 championships during that span.
Man, that's amazing right there in itself, and just the fact that, you know, like you said, that whole concept, if everybody went to one school, how dominant would that be? Now going back to your production, you said you got everything. As far as like your reels or your film regarding the players that did come out and you did the interviews, did you guys do all that last year during the pandemic? As far as they send you guys like all the film, or did you guys go there on location?
You know what I'm saying? We've been gathering information, talking to the legends that are still living. You know, who was the top players back then, what neighborhood they came from, because, you know, Carson is divided up into several different neighborhoods. So we got what superstar football player from DA or from Scottsdale or from the Patch, you know, just give me an example. And, you know, everybody know they legends from their neighborhood. Flea,
you got to break down. Not everybody watching this is going to know where DA is or what DA is or the Patch and all that. So let's back that up a little bit and give a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, well, you know, every neighborhood has a certain demographics in Carson. You know, you have a high population of Filipinos in one particular area of Carson, a high percentage of blacks living in my neighborhood where I came from, which was DA, Delamo Park. Then, you know, you had the Patch. It was a mix of Polynesian and black and Latinos as well. So everybody's proud of the city of Carson, but we also proud of the little areas, patches that we came out of. You know what I'm saying? You know, and some of it was gang affiliated as well. I'm not gonna missteer anybody. Sure. You know what I'm saying? But again, a lot of football players came from these different neighborhoods. And so we're bringing this all together to light. I think we came up with over 480 football players played Division I football from 1965 to current day from the city of Carson. We've had about 75 players make it to the NFL. We had, you know, again, I'm giving away all the goodies, but I'm just trying to tell you that we have a strong history of football in the city of Carson. And most people who grew up in the South Bay knows the legend game of Carson and Banning. You know, that's the premise of the whole thing. But then lately, Carson and Banning has not been on top of their game. And kids from the city of Carson have gone to Gardena, who's been dominant, Norabon, who's won 8 championships in the last, 14 years. But a lot of their players come from the city of Carson because that's a borderline school, you know. And then they got the new high school in Carson, East Carson High School, whatever it's called.
Rancho Dominguez.
Rancho Dominguez. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So we're just going to talk about the history, the legends, you know, like, Jamel Holloway for the longest, up until 2 years ago, he was the only true freshman to win a national championship in college at the quarterback position. Then the kid from Clemson wind up winning it. That's in the draft this year. Okay. So I mean, we have some legendary players that come out of the city of Carson, and we want to highlight that and give them their flowers before they go. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, real quick, that we've lost 4 top players in the last 4 months because of COVID. Oh. So, it's kind of like, man, we didn't get this done, and they were integral parts of the project.
Wow, sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that. And did you actually know some of these guys?
Oh yeah, and they actually from my era. I mean, I graduated in '88. Yeah. So we had Titus Tuiasosopo, who went to Banning, class of '88. Who else? Eric Williams from Banning, class of '89. Joe Scott just passed away like 3 weeks ago. He was class of, I want to say, '85, linebacker from Banning. Who am I missing right now? There was one more. But yeah, this is the close guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even talking about the legends before us. I'm just talking about current day guys who are between 45 and 50 that
Yeah.
just are gone now. You know what I'm saying? So that's giving me more drive to really want to put this project together, to see it on the big screen, and then of course to stream it on my streaming network, Flea TV. So we really going to push hard at the end of this month to start getting to pre-production and then start doing production by April.
So two things, blessings and prayers to the families of the players that you mentioned. I only know one of the names, honestly, Titus. I did not know that he did pass away during this era, and prayers
November.
and blessings, and we pray that the Lord keeps His hand on those families and during this time.
For sure.
And just number two, what you mentioned is very true about being here in Carson. Little spots and different areas, had its own demographics, and everybody's proud of being in that area, in those areas. But what was really cool, and you can attest to that, is even though we had our little spots, we were all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was all intertwined, and like you said, that's what I loved about growing up here in Carson. And given that I'm a Navy kid, so we lived in different spots up and down California, predominantly Caucasian, and then coming here, man, it was like, whoa,
Yeah, exactly. You got
it was
Korean,
really cool, man.
You got Chinese, you got Filipino, you got black, white, Mexican. I mean, it was a true mix of what America's really about.
Yes.
And I'm proud to say that, because we were, even though we had differences as far as culture, but we respect each other's culture, and our school allowed us to celebrate our culture on campus.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so we got a chance to eat Filipino food. We got a chance to eat some more, Polynesian food, which we would never do if we didn't go to the schools that we went to.
Absolutely. Very true. Again, you guys are watching HBTV, the show. I'm your host, Harry Bugarin, and my special guest tonight is Mr. Dion Lee. We got one, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this name. I think it's Tamiko Gilbert Hawkins. And she says, hey, Flea. So we got somebody in here in the chat. And Tamiko, if you want to ask Mr. Dion Lee any questions during the time that he's on with me, I'll try to field that in the chat right there. And
awesome. That's Miko. We went to college together. So.
Oh, awesome, Miko. Okay,
she's a dope lyricist as well.
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, there it is. So we might have to get a Miko here and throw some bars on it. So. But going back to the One Team One City, as far I think it's great that you were able to do all that you did during 2020 and that the pandemic era, to get everything together. And so just exploring a little bit more about that, it's just interesting. Like how big is that team? How big is that team to put all the production together, to get the story going? And I know you're producing it and all that, but I know you can't do this without a whole team. Like how did that come about, and how is that working for you guys?
Well, for the last, I've been out of school for 33 years now, about 33 years out of high school. So we've had some get-togethers. Banny has always had some get-togethers, football players. Carson had some before Coach Vonagel passed away about 8 years ago. And we've always talked about, man, what if ESPN did a 30 for 30 on the city of Carson? You know what I'm saying? Or, a rival situation between Carson and Banny, that somebody should do it. But as you all know, everybody can talk about it, but there's nobody to be about it.
Yeah.
So when the pandemic jumped off in March, me and my wife was sitting around, and I said, I've come from the entertainment industry. So I got a couple of phone calls from some A-list artists and came up with a concept, which was Flea TV. And I'm pretty sure we'll get into that a little bit later. But I just went on Facebook, and I just threw up One City, One Team. What if? Because that's been the parallel all our lives. What if we all went to high school together? And so I just started a page up and say, yo, let's start talking about, back in the day. We had nothing to do. We all at home. Nobody's doing nothing but watching Netflix and Hulu. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a conversationist. So I started up a page, and which has grown to over 1,200 people now, in that 8-month time period. But I'm like, yo, do you know how many people are from the city of Carson that are involved in the music and the film industry, that we can do this documentary? And they're like, you think we can do it, Flea? I said, look at the people coming in. So we wind up getting put out a call to everybody that was involved into the page and who can put in some work. And so we wind up getting a team of 15 people on our production team. 95% are from the city of Carson.
Wow.
So as far as whatever, if they worked on with cameras, they worked in the distribution industry for films, music soundtracks, recording artists. There's a lot of things that come out of the city of Carson. It's just, can we all get together? Because people don't realize that Brandy and Ray J come from the city of Carson. The Booyah Tribe, city of Carson. The Boys, the city of Carson. You know, and that's just some of the artists. You know what I'm saying? Then there's other people like Ben, who's been nominated for Emmys for editing. You know what I'm saying? And start pulling the resources together and say, man, we all went to school together. Let's do a project together. And that's how the One City, One Team came about. I went ahead and trademarked the name and the logo. Actually, my daughter wound up doing the logo for the One City, One Team. So that's her first official trademark that she's ever gotten before, you know, with her skills. And we just been, you know, hammering it out. You know, what we're going to do, what we're going to, you know, what's the story about? We had a 10-part series because there's so much history. But because of the pandemic, we didn't narrow it down. We said, you know what? We're going to focus on from 75 to about 2000. It's going to be our feature right now.
Yeah.
And then we're going to spawn off and do the beginning in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, you know, 2000 and 2010 and the current day. So we see different pieces of the project, but we want to get the first project just done. And then we'll start spreading our wings on it, because again, we have a platform to stream it on.
Sure.
We're not waiting on Netflix. We're not waiting on HBO. We're not waiting on it, you know, to be in a movie theater. We have a theater in your house that you can watch on our platform. So that's where we at, man. We're 15 deep, and it's dope to be working with all the people that we're working with.
Oh man, that's awesome and amazing in its own thing. Again, as you were talking about, like, you got this whole resource from Carson, y'all putting it together, y'all getting together, and that's amazing to me, honestly. So that's really cool. As far as, like, let's say somebody here is really interested in watching our episode together. You produce this documentary. What type of like nuggets can you give that person aspiring to be like a documentary film maker? What can you give to those people, either young or old, that are trying to do this?
You know what? The first thing is just, you got to be about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the first step. You know, we all have great ideas, but we don't take action on those ideas. And then when somebody else does that idea, then you're hating. So don't be part of that crew. Just go about it and do it the best that you can with what you have. You know, some people are saying, well, I ain't got a DP, or I don't have a black magic camera. It doesn't matter. You work with what you have. If you got an iPhone 8 or iPhone 11 or Android like me, and that's all you have, you make the most out of it. So don't confuse yourself that you don't have the resources to get it done. You do. You're just not going to be top AA, 5A game. You know what I'm saying? But you got to at least start somewhere. And people want to start at the top, and you can't start at the top. You got to start with what you got to work with. So the first thing as a filmmaker is, if you got an idea, jump on it and make a move. Put it on whatever type of film you got. I don't care if it's 8mm, 16mm. You know what I'm saying? I know I went way back with that one, the VHS, the big camera, but you got to document it. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know the story. You know what you want. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody talk you out of your idea. And we all get talked out of our ideas. I'm pretty sure somebody asked you, Harry, why you doing a blog show? There's a million people doing blog, video shows. But mine's going to be different. Well, it is going to be different because it's you. So go ahead and do you. Don't wait around and thinking that everybody's here to help you. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, I'm just about it. I just make it happen. And my success is my failure. Because when I fail, I've learned how to do it bigger and better the next time. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be afraid to fail. And a lot of people don't step out the door because they're afraid to fail.
Right. So as far as, like, you had mentioned, we're going to get to Flea TV in a bit, but you had mentioned about you're not waiting for Hulu, you're not waiting for Netflix, because you do have that platform. Now, for those of us that don't, right? For those of us that don't, do you, is it, you suggest to have like a pitching to these people at these companies, and how would you honestly go about that?
Well, the best pitch is having a final product in the can. That's the best pitch, because like I told you earlier, everybody has a great idea. But once you put that idea and you have it finalized in a can, on a DAT tape, on a VHS tape, or a digital file that you can send out, that is your pitch. If the story is good enough, it will speak for itself. You can't speak higher than what the product is itself. You know what I'm saying? So a pitch is more to your investors. Hey, I have an idea. It's going to cost us $20,000 to do it. Now you need to pitch why you want to do it, what's the reason behind it, and then how many fans will come see it. So that investor gets his return on his investment, which is he really just wants his money back, or she really wants her money back. You know, they're not in it to really make $1 million per se, but they want to be a part of that project. You know, that's the funny thing about growing up in LA. You know, the Hollywood scene, you know, they're doing movies in everywhere, is the notoriety you get for being a part of a project, the credit. You know what I'm saying? Some people just want their credit. It's not about the money, you know. So just keep pushing forward. And like I said, if the story is strong enough, if the visual is strong enough, if the audio is strong enough, those are the three main things that I'm looking for when I'm looking for projects coming my way. And I'll talk about some of those projects that I got on my product, on my platform. But that's what I'm looking for. Does it look like $1 million? Do it sound like $1 million? But it don't have to cost $1 million.
Yeah, yeah. And one last question, you know, that I'd like to field for you, as far as challenges. I know we had the pandemic last year. Take the pandemic away, right? As far as the challenges, what were some of the challenges that you had to get over to finally get where you are at today with that project?
It's always financial. I think financial is always number one. You know what I'm saying? We all don't come from silver spoon families. You know, and that's the first reach out. Your inner circle is your family, you know, and then after that is your friends. Then after that is your associates and your co-workers. So it expands. So it's finding that right circle that can help fund what you're doing. Are you giving, you know, what are you giving back to them once it is making money? You know, so it's your inner circle. You know, you are who you hang out with, basically. You know, if you broke, look at your 5 friends next to you. They probably broke too. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't lying. We
are who we are, right? we are who we are. So you got to be able to get outside your circle, and hasn't been necessarily my biggest challenge, but because of the pandemic, there's not many meeting places. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do a lot of research on LinkedIn, which is a great resource. Set up Zoom meetings to get to know people, meet and greet type of situations. We can't wine and dine them. We got this meet and greet on a program like this. And then comes the pitch, then comes the idea, then comes the concept, and then comes what you're looking for money wise, you know, after you built that relationship up. So I think that's what was outside of the pandemic, is people believing in you. So I had to kind of step away from One City, One Team to build the platform of Flea TV, and I produced other events and other documentaries and brought it back to the family and said, look, this is what Flea's done. You know what I'm saying? Because again, a lot of us haven't talked to each other 10, 15, 20 years. We don't really know what we've done. You know what I'm saying? As far as the homies, but we can get on the phone and talk and get on the Zoom like this, like it was yesterday. Yeah. And we talk about walking down Avalon right now. You know what I'm saying? The main drag. But we don't know or haven't proven to our close friends what we've accomplished over our lifetime in the industry. So I kind of went out and about and proved myself that I can produce, direct, and put a project together and then put it on my platform and it makes money. So now everybody's looking at me a little bit different, because now I got a proven product outside of the One City, One Team. Now they're like, I want to, you know, how can I cash app you? You see what I'm saying? Even, you know, $10, $100, sure. $500. You see what I'm saying? So now they believe in me, because now it's not all talk. Yeah. So that's what's been going on. So that's been the biggest thing is, you know, initially we wanted to raise $100,000 for this project. Didn't even come close to that. Yeah. Because of the situation, people not knowing their job. So it was a bad time to be in business, to get into a business and ask for money from investors. Now people are back to almost normal. They got their jobs. You know, they're working from home. They know where their next paycheck is coming. So now they're willing to, you know, put up $50, $100, $500 to get to our new goal for the single project of 25 to 30,000 is what we're looking for.
That's awesome, man. And again, you guys are watching HBTV, the show. I'm your host, Harry Bugarin, and my special guest tonight is Mr. Dion Lee. So let's go ahead and transition. Let's go ahead and transition to that platform you just been talking about. It's like you wear it on your heart right there, Flea Lee TV, baby.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. I mean, you were telling us a little bit about that 8 and 9 months ago. Give us the skinny on what's been happening with that platform.
Well, let me backtrack just a hot second so people
Sure.
know how I got into it. Again, everybody knows my name is Flea. And so when the pandemic hit, you know, like I said, I did 23 years in the music industry, and a lot of artists reached out to me to find out how they can make money. So again, sitting down watching Netflix and Hulu and all the other stuff, we had time to do that. I didn't see programs that I was totally interested in, because a lot of things on TV are commercially based, meaning that it's the big budget movies and things of that nature. I'm all about storyline, not about the stars anymore. I'm mature now. I ain't got to watch a movie because Halle Berry's in it now, you know, so I can watch any old girl in there now. But at one time it used to be about Halle Berry, and that was it.
Yeah.
Right? So when we started doing our research, me and my wife, because she has her master's in marketing, her MBA, we started thinking about it. Hey, let's do a platform where we can put recording artists and comedians on deck because they can't tour. And I was going to name it something else. And she said, no, you know, everybody is branding themselves, right? And she said, just call it Flea TV or Flea Lee TV. I'm like, that's cool, but what does that mean? And then she hit me. Filling life through entertainment and art, live to everyone, everywhere. It's exactly what we want to do. You know, entertainment and art is our life. You know, everything that we built around is around entertainment and art, right? From dancing to singing to sports, all that. And we're going to bring it to you live, to everyone, everywhere. So we are inclusive, culture-wise. You know, it's a Black-owned network, yes, but we are inclusive in the type of programming that we're doing. So if you have good art and a good fan base, bring them. You know what I'm saying? This is a lifestyle brand. So going to that, we wind up kicking this thing off and saying, wow, we can do this. Because we start working with artists, A-list artists, but we're having issues with the A-list artists because they got those 360 deals back in the 80s and 90s. For those who don't know about 360 deals, it's basically you sold your soul to work for a record label, meaning that you gave them all your songs and publishing for a gold chain and a Cadillac, you know what I'm saying, and a little fame. If you think about all the artists during that time period, none of them are rich in this day and age. You know, they ran through their money or they never got any money. So we wanted to build a platform to help reestablish those artists and then give them the lion's share of the money, because it's their work that's bringing fans to us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then we start working on the One City, One Team project. I'm like, wow, we can put that on our platform. You know what I'm saying? Then I started looking into independent filmmakers. You know, there's no yellow brick road for them to get to Oz. You know, I talk in analogies all the time, so you got to bear with me. You know what I'm saying? There is no direct access to Oz, but we all have courage, we all have heart, and we all have the brains. We just don't have no guidance, right? So we want to be that stepping stone for independent filmmakers. We want to be able to monetize their shorts. We want to monetize their mini series, their web series, their features, because their goal to Oz might be, hey, I just want to be on Netflix, right? Somebody might say, I want to be on HBO. Somebody might say, I want to be in the theaters. Well, there's no clear way path to get there. You know, a lot of filmmakers do a film and then they spend 2 years, you know, doing the film circuit. And for me, being in the entertainment industry, I kind of laugh at the film circuit because you do get some notoriety, but you get a paper award. Nothing's guaranteed, but you paying anywhere between $500 to $5,000 to enter your film. That's not even guaranteed to make the cut. You see what I'm saying? So it's a money maker for those film festivals who are getting hundreds of films, but they only showcasing 15 films for the weekend.
Wow.
You know, so I see it as a money maker for the film festivals. My thing is, why not four-wall your own movie on our platform and do the same thing? But now you're monetizing your film. You know what I'm saying? You market it. You know, I have distribution companies calling me saying, hey, what do you have on your platform? We heard about it, you know, and they'll go spend $5.99 or $10.99 or $9.99 to go see whatever, and they can make an opportunity to see that and then get back with me and then I can put together a deal where they can meet up with the director, you know, and it's not costing the director anything. So I'm all about the artists when we came up with the platform, the streaming. You know, are we going to be as big as Netflix? I doubt it. I'm okay being a boutique. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If we can get, you know, our goal is to get 10,000 subscribers to our platform to watch and see up and coming filmmakers, up and coming actors and actresses, as well as breaking new bands because they're not big enough to tour. You know what I'm saying? This is the opportunity for them to build a fan base. And point two, there's an opportunity to put more music out into the industry because there's no video platform shows anymore like Yo MTV Raps.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So someone like yourself can say, yo, Flea, can I do a show? Yeah, you got a group of artists. You create your own show, you give it to me, we distribute it. Then we'll find a way to monetize it through either doing commercial breaks or, you know, we have a thing that we coined called the Raving Fan Coin, where now those people on our platform are getting 25 cents to $1.25 per stream for their content. And people say, that ain't that much money. But when you look at YouTube, you're getting 0.00262 cents, but you got to have 1,000 subscribers. And then you start, you know, they have requirements.
Yes.
We're talking about 25 cents from stream number one minimum to $1.25. And that's based on our platform of where people pay $5.99 a month. And we put $2.50 towards our platform, and then $2.50 goes to the content creators. But it's not fair to split that up with the content creators evenly because, Harry, you can have 2,000 views, right? I can have 5 views. Should you get $1.25 and I get $1.25? No, because life ain't fair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Life ain't fair.
No, I dig it.
You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But if you got 2,000 people watching your show and they're donating at least a quarter, because we give them coins every month to give away, and those coins represent 25 cents, you just made $400 off of that show.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Let's say they gave you $1.25. Now you just made $2,500 off of that same show with 2,000 people. You know what I'm saying? So it works hand in hand. We're in beta right now with that platform, but we also have the pay-per-view side of our company where people are seeing money right now. You know what I'm saying? We have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 12 projects that are up on our pay-per-view platform. And again, artists are making a killing. And, you know, all they had to do was perform one time, and it's on our platform for the next 90 to 120 days. So it is all about the artists, and content is king. And they own their own content. You see what I'm saying? When they bring it to the table, we're not keeping the content. We're just in an agreement for 90 to 120 days. And we might be that stepping stone. Hey, they got analytics. They sold 1,000 movies. Now they can go to the movie theater, to the bigger studios and say, hey, we did a test run on Flea TV. We got 1,000 buys. You know, this was the age category. This was the gender, 48% were women, 20% of the came from LA, all the analytics that you can have to leverage your product if you want to go bigger than just us. But you got to put it out there.
Who are some of the the artists that did come to you that you work with? I'm looking at some of your schedule right now, and thank you very much for giving the link to on the 27th, whether that project blowed,
yes.
All that, and you have Climax, man. You had Climax on the list as well. But who are some of the other artists that you were able to work with through your platform?
So far, we've been able to work with some old school artists, like you mentioned earlier. We did Confunction, we did Climax, we did Lakeside, and we did Yarborough and Peoples. Okay, so those were some OGs that we worked with, and we've had our challenges with that because again, I'm 50. I was a young teenager when those groups came out. So you're talking about those are like the bottom end of my parents' age, groups before we took over with the hip hop thing, right? So again, you have challenges of people, just logging on to the internet and then giving their information. The older the demographics are, the less information they want to give on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So we've had some issues with that, but we've gone through those concerts and we've actually got great productions. Then we work with new bands like Hello New World, which is a Gen Z band, reminds me of No Doubt, out of Huntington Beach.
Nice.
We worked with a group called Freak Juice. who played with Prince, who plays with Morris Day and the Times, Tory Ruffin. He's the lead guitarist for Morris Day and the Time, but he has his side group called Freak Juice. They actually opened up our platform as the first group, and they're an eclectic group. They play reggaeton, they play rock, they play alternative rock, they play hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to put them in a classification. So we couldn't just say, hey, just throw them into the hip hop scene and they're gonna blow up. No, that's just one song out of the 8 songs they done was a hip hop type song. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then we worked with another alternative band called Blind Innocence, and they're going to be dropping later on in March. You know, so again, on the music side, we produced that. And then again, we worked on a documentary called Project Blow 26. For those who are from LA, they know about the good life out in LA off of Crenshaw, right? It's better known with Ava DuVernay's The Good Life. Yeah, her documentary, and it's actually playing on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Is it partly because we redid it, you know, 14 years later? I'm gonna say yeah. You see what I'm saying? But you know, that was a great project. We highlighted a bunch of artists. We had so much footage that we put together a 2-hour after party of the artists that didn't make it on the first documentary are on the after party. So it's ciphers, it's breakdancing, it's graffiti art, it's fashion, and of course it's all about the rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so that'll be recommended for people to see. If that project can be done, whatever you can think of can be done as well in Flea TV. Like I said, it looks like $1 million, it sounds like $1 million, but it didn't cost $1 million. Right.
You know So that actually is going to be streaming on your platform, or it did already, you know, when you gave me that link. But people who subscribe can also, you know, it's already archived and it's still up there, yeah?
It's still archived on our pay-per-view platform right now. So you can go to flealeetv.tixr, that's TIXR.com, and you will see a list of all the projects that we worked on. Okay, we've also released 6 movies this month alone in February, showcases of art, actually 7 showcases. No, 8 showcases. Sorry about that. I'm getting my numbers all mixed up. Yeah. But we were scheduled for 12, but we had 3 artists bag out at the last minute. So we released a total of 8 showcases. And again, when I'm talking about independent filmmakers, they make shorts, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't have the budget to do a feature. So they might do a short anywhere between 5 minutes to 20 minutes is about the amount of time that a short would be. I hooked up with one of my comedian friends, Alicia Cooper. Funny young lady, been on the Def Comedy Jam, been on all that stuff back in the day, but she wanted to direct. So she wound up directing 2 movies for me called during the pandemic. One's called Fat Stripper, and it's a funny comedy. You know, the pandemic hits. You know, she had a job and she got fired, so she went back to her old job from 20 years ago. She's about 100 pounds heavier. You know, she ain't what she used to be. You know what I'm saying? She gets into the strip club to start stripping because the strip club was down and out. She brought her fans back, and it ends very happily. You know what I'm saying? It's a funny comedy 20-minute, but she wanted to make that a feature, but she didn't have the money to make a feature. So she did a beginning, the middle, and the end of this short. And then we had a showcase where she talks about, you know, that was a 1-day shoot. It cost me $10,000. You get to know more about her as an artist, you know what I'm saying, as a director, and what her future plans were. And that's one of the cases that I've actually had 2 investors contact me after watching it. Nice. And connected them together because she's asking for about $500,000 to make it. But she's also mentioned that she wanted to have Snoop Dogg and Lizzo as part of their storyline. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, other people are watching it and we're getting closer and closer. Like I said, I met up with Snoop with his camp about 6 weeks ago, and, you know, pitched that to them and said, hey, take a look at it. And then, of course, we're trying to get Lizzo on board. So again, it's a platform where you can get recognized. Use it to what it is. It's to be seen. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is good, but there's 41 million channels on YouTube, and YouTube don't promote you. You have to promote yourself. You know, same thing with Roku and Tubi. Yeah, you can be on those platforms, but are those platforms promoting you individually? No. We're at Flea TV, we're promoting we're business partners with everybody that we put on our platform.
Right.
So that's what makes us unique.
That's awesome. I'm glad you mentioned that. And again, you guys are watching HBTV, the show. I got my man here, Carson's very own, Mr. Dion Lee. We're talking about Flea Lee TV, and he's giving us massive gems here, man. He's dropping these massive gems, not only about the production, but what Flea Lee TV is all about. Now, Dion, you touched a little bit about the monetization of, for the artists and how you work with them and things like that. Without going too in depth, I'm pretty sure it's on your website when they do. Like, we might, have someone that's interested to check out the site and sign up. But the signing up process, it's pretty cut and clean and simple. Or if they have questions, is it something that they can obviously get in touch with you? Maybe you guys can have like a one-on-one session on Zoom or whatever. However you go about it. Yeah,
definitely. If somebody was interested with content, be it a theatrical show, a podcast, you name it, we work with you, and we're going to walk you through it step by step and how we can monetize it. We're here to help you because you're bringing the content to us. So we want to do what's best for you and your content, right? As far as monetizing, going after sponsors, if you put together a variety show, hey, we have the tools to make it happen and the ideas to get it done. It's up to you to put in the work, So I'm easily accessible. I mean, I give out my phone number, I give out my email, and then we set up those meetings. You can find me on social media, and I get right back to you. But again, we have a short-term agreement. Again, I don't like to say contracts. Contracts are like slave contracts. You just gave up your life.
Yeah.
What we do is we build what we call agreements, and you're in control of that agreement once it's signed. Your obligation is that 90 to 120 days of exclusivity with us. And at that point in time, you can reach back and say, hey, Flea, things are going well. Can I extend that? And we'll say, yeah, we can extend it 30 more days. You know what I'm saying? We're doing addendum because you're in control. Or you can just walk and say, thank you for the leverage. Now I'm going on to bigger and better pastures. And all I tell people to do is when you do that, I always put out my award. Here's my case. So when you go win that Emmy or whatever award, I want to thank God and I want to thank Flea Lee for helping me out. You know what I'm saying? Because what that does, you just created that yellow brick road for the next person to how did they make it? And that's been the biggest mystery in the entertainment industry is how did Joe go from normal Joe to Joe Blow? It seemed like it was overnight, but it wasn't. We know it takes years, months to make it from studio to radio in some cases.
Yeah.
Now there's some people that have been lucky and done a song in one night, like Nas X, Take My Horse to the Old Town Road. He bought the track for what, $35? You know what I'm saying? And it just went crazy. You see what I'm saying? How often does that happen to most artists? Almost never.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But those who continue to grind, you got to know what you're grinding for and how to grind and where to grind. And that's what our platform is for. It's to build your fan base, to build your audience, to monetize, so that you can make enough money to make the next short. You see what I'm saying? Because we gotta build. Yeah. We gotta build.
So my thing is, and I know you speak in like examples and metaphors and things like that. So it just popped in my head. It kind of reminds me of like in the game of basketball when I was coaching, right? When you had those summer leagues where everybody would come together. Now it's Las Vegas where all the coaches come and get and see the players and such like that. In this case, I'm just attributing to Flea Lee TV. This is where the coaches will come and see the players or the content, right? So you mentioned you partner up with the artists, individually. Do you partner up, or do you have that type of relationship with those big companies or the studios, or like have you reached out to them to try to partner up, or even just have some type of relationship, say, hey, we got this, come check this out, we got some good stuff here, Paramount, Sony, Hulu, Netflix, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just like you said, we are the training grounds. So we're building relationships on both sides with the content creators and then also that are bigger and better. Some of those companies don't want to partner up with smaller companies, you know what I'm saying? because they see us as competition.
Sure.
You know, nobody was worried about Netflix. Who's gonna order a movie in the mail and get it 2 days later?
Yeah.
Who thought that when I can go to Blockbuster?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Blockbuster thought that as well. And what happened?
Got
All
put
of a
out.
sudden, they got put out. So again, Disney, they didn't think about streaming,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. Until all of a sudden Netflix blows up, and then Disney movies are on Netflix. So what do? They pulled them, say, you know, we got enough catalog that we could put our own movies out, right? And then we teamed up with Marvel or whoever. So now, see what I'm saying? So people are partnering up. So our thing is, we're in the proving grounds. We're in the wait and see category. Well, let's see what Flea TV can do. Mm-hmm. So my ultimate goal, to be honest, is the documentary that we did, Project Blow 26, because there's so many underground hip hoppers in the world. And matter of fact, I got a screening tonight in Hawaii, the 808 screening. So we're going to every city, and we're doing a special screening for up to 50 to 100 people, a free screening of all the hip hop heads to watch the documentary with us and some of the artists that are on it. So we're grinding.
Yes.
But we want 100,000 buys. 100,000 buys will get us 1 million gross in sales for a project that costs less than $5,000.
Woo.
To put together.
Wow.
You see what I'm getting at? So now we're creating that story. And that's what people got to understand. You got to create the story, a reason why these companies want to come to you, because you're saying you're a specialist. How did you turn a $5,000 project into $1 million? You see what I'm getting at? That's what we're doing. No different than Master P. You know what I'm saying? Put out 26 albums in 1 year from his artists. No major record label has ever done that, let alone an independent. So we're taking what I've learned from that era and that time period and that grind, and now we're looking for content creators to understand that. And that's why we have an affiliate program where a person like yourself who like, man, I'm a hip hopper, but I can't rap, right? I can't rap. But man, I know 100 people that will dig Project Blow. You know what? If I get down with Flea TV, he give me a code. You know, we have a affiliate link, and I promote this to my 100 friends. I just made $200 because I know that my 100 friends are gonna buy it. You see what I'm getting at? So it's a win for the content creator. It's a win for us as a platform or distributing platform. It's a win for the consumer because it's a great product at an affordable price, and it's a great opportunity for promoters who are promoting clubs who can't promote clubs right now or promote hip hop to make money because they have a fan base, they have a mailing list, they have followers. Monetize your followers. This is what Flea TV is all about. That's a 4-win situation. Everybody's winning. You know, but you got to get people to buy into the fact that we're creating a new culture, because the culture that we live in is about me, and what can you give me instead of how can I help you blow up Hbtv? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if we change our mindset and say, hey, let's do this, everybody can. Because now the next project to come in, even though I don't have enough money for my project, let's say I get a Snoop Dogg on here to do a concert. I know damn well that concert is going to sell, but I got 500 friends that I know who love Snoop, right? So if I got a code to get them early tickets, I send that out. I just made $1,000 for sending it out to my 500 friends. You send it now, I can take that $1,000 and go into the studio and cut my own music because I didn't have that money. So again, utilize each other, not use each other. Right. Utilize, not use. So those are the things that we're doing on our platform that makes us unique. And I'm not afraid to speak on it because we're living it. We're doing it. We want people to get on board and follow through with us. Everybody eats. What you kill is what you eat.
Man, I love it. I love the concept. I love the paid forward. I love the helping out. And you know what? That's what we all about here as well. We're trying to build that as well. And just want to let you know, man, thank you. Blessings for you to come on here on my show tonight. Hey, tonight Flea TV was on HBTV. That's all I gotta say. Ladies and gentlemen.
You see how it rhymes, right? It all rhymes.
It all does, man. And I'm not gonna take too much more of your time, brother. I just want to say again, thank you, blessings, and much love and success to Flea TV. Much love and success to all the stuff that you're doing there, to all your artists and everybody that you're working with. Before I do let you go, anything from the top of your head that you do want to share with our audience, before we end this?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop how people can contact me. But my thing is this: if you really want to do it, I'm taking Nike. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking the slogan because again, did I think that I was going to be in this position a year ago? No, I was comfortable being a teacher here in Las Vegas, being a football coach, and the pandemic hits. I haven't been in the industry in 15 years. You know, I sit down 2 weeks and really evaluate life and the maturity that has come since I've been out the business. Now I have a lot more focus on what I want to do and a lot more connections of what I had in the past. Back then it was about partying, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't really about collecting, you know, connections. Now it is. I'm a connect just like you're a connect. We're on these social media platforms doing what we do because we love it. The passion is what drives me. It's not the money that drives me because I haven't made any money. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever has come in has gone right back out to make us bigger and better. So, but I see the bigger picture. Yeah. You know, and so I'm looking for bigger picture thinkers. I'm looking for active people who have great ideas and want to act on it. And like I said, our platform is really all about the artists. If you can think of it and dream about it, put it together, we have the vehicle that it can be on. And with that, you know, folks can reach out to me at Flea at FleaLeeTV.com is my email. Of course, I drop my phone number is 702-874-8058. I'm on Instagram as the real Flea Lee TV, which I'm changing over right now. That's going to be really my personality and not the corporation. We just hired a new social media branding person that's setting us up. So again, what I don't know, I find somebody who do know. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. I don't have time to master everything. So if you're a master at something, hit me up. If you're a marketer, if you're a concept, if you're a concept person, an artist, a graphic artist, and that's what you do, there's room for you here at Flea Lee TV. You know what I'm saying? You got to work with us to work with us. Yeah. You got to work with us to work with us. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the door is open. And like I said, I'm appreciative of being on your show. I'm glad that you reached out to me. Again, I go from one meeting, like I was on one meeting right before here, you know what I'm saying, to coming on TV with you and streaming. And then we're doing this 8:08 tonight at 8:08 p.m. Hawaii time. Which is 10:08 here on the West Coast. Yes. And so I'll be up to about 2 o'clock in the morning facilitating that program. But it's the passion that drives me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have passion at what you do. And if you can get paid for your passion, you will never work a day in your life. Well, Dion, thank you so much for your time. You stay blessed. You stay safe out there. And you know what? We're going to do this again. We're going to recap again. We're going to do this again. Please. I'm going to get you on. I'm going to get you on. You're going to be a staple on my seasons, man. I'm going to have Dion Lee, Flea Lee TV all the time on my seasons, man. I might have my Oprah Winfrey type of show on my platform if I can squeeze some time to do a show. But right now, I just want to get everything on point. And if I do get my show, you're guaranteed to be the first artist. Oh, Dion, man. Hey. Blessings, brother. Blessings. You have a good night. Please tell your wife and love to the family. And I'll catch up with you again, man. You have a good night. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Well, that was my special guest tonight, Mr. Dion Lee of Flea Lee TV, doing some great stuff out there. Go check him out. I'll have all of his information in the video description right after this episode. Check him out. FleaLeeTV.com. That's the website if you're a content creator or if you just want to get down and just see some new stuff, new inspiring things out there. Go ahead and check it out. If you got some content, get in there, ask him questions, see how you can be a part of that Flea Lee TV community and family. He's willing to work with everybody and anyone. So check that out. Until next time, you guys have a blessed work week. Thank you again for your time, for spending it with us tonight. I know there's a lot of other options out there for you, but thank you again for watching. Until next time, next week Sunday, 6 p.m., another episode of HBTV, the show with your host, Harry Bugarin. Stay blessed, stay safe.